How's it going, everyone? This is a part 2 of a multi-series on how to use the HTTP callout element from Salesforce Flow. In the previous video, I covered how to use the GET request, and today's video, we're going to cover how to use the POST request, which requires to send a body of JSON to the API. I created an imaginary API here. This website allows us to send JSON post requests to this URL here, and we can see how the data was received. So let's do an example here. So I have here an imaginary structure. We have a main object, which is the body. We have a field, which is an object itself, and it has two subfields, name and website. Then we have an array of contacts. We have email first and last for each contact, and then we have a field on the body itself called group. If we click send, we can see the response here. We have one field called message. We go over here, we can see our request that we just sent. And we can also see there's some query parameters as well. In order to set up a HTTP callout, we need to first set up a name credential. Now, I already did that, and if you want to see how to set it up, just watch the part 1 videos on the series. You have a name credential here, external credential. So now let's go and set up the flow. We want to have a screen flow, and we want to trigger that screen flow from the record itself. So we want to have some kind of an action button here that triggers the flow. Then we want to send all the related contacts from that account with some details on the account to that imaginary API. So let's set up a flows. So I will set up a screen flow here. And we'll first need to get two things. We'll need to get details about the account and also all the related contacts. So let's start first with the account. We'll get the get records, just name it account, and then get the account object. You want to get the account on the record that was triggered, and we can use this magical variable named record ID. Just make sure record and then capital ID. Make sure it's available for input, and what will happen is Salesforce automatically set the value of the record of the page where the flow was ran. Oh, put it in the wrong place here. Okay, let's save it. Now let's go to the next part. Let's get all the contacts. We'll do the same thing here. We'll name it contacts. Get the contact object. And then you want to filter it by the account ID. We have to make sure that we get all records since we want to get a list of records. Now let's save this flow just as a good practice as we're making our edits. Now we want to set up the HTTP callout. Go to action, create HTTP callout, and give it a name. We'll choose our name credentials, and then set up our method. We can just call it, let's say, send data. We'll use the post method. And now for the URL, we'll paste in the URL here from our website. Now let's go back here. Let's make sure we have everything. And now for the query parameters, we can put it in the token. And this is a key here that we can use query parameters as a part of the sending the body as well. Now this is exclusively for the HTTP post, we will provide a sample request. So we'll just copy everything here and paste it here. Salesforce automatically figures out the data types. And we can do done. Next thing is we have to provide a response. So we'll just copy everything here. Review, done. Now we can do save. Once this is saved, there is automatically an external service, and we can see it over here. If we go over here, we can see there's imaginary API service. This means that it automatically saves for the whole organization, and we can use it in any flow henceforward. Now, we need to set up the data for the body. Now, since this is a complex request, which involves multiple objects, so we have an object for the count, we have a list of contexts, and we have the body itself, which contains this field. We'll have to do it in a few parts. First, we want to set the information on the account. To do so, what we'll do is we'll create a variable where this is going to be stored. Let's go over here and create a variable which will contain the whole body. I will do an assignment. And I will do set account info. For the variable, we'll create a new resource. We'll choose variable. And for the data type, we'll use Apex defined. We'll look for external service. And should be over here somewhere. Could be it's not showing up, and don't be alarmed for this. And this has to do because we need to just reload the page. So we'll just reload the page and do it again. Set count info, no resource, variable, Apex defined. Now we can see that we have external service API, and we have the body. We can go over here and set the in body, and we'll just call it body. Now we can do this like this. We can go account name equals account name. Now we can do body account website equals account website. Oops, the wrong one. Account website. Now for the last part, we can set the group. We'll call it, I don't know, just anything. I will just change this to set body info. Maybe it's a more appropriate name since we are setting also the group. Done. Next part is we need to set all the contexts. In order to set all the contexts, we need to have first a collection of contexts. And then for each contact that we received, we're going to set a contact in that collection. So let me show you how to do this. First thing is we need to set up two variables. We need to set up a body context, which is going plural, and this is going to contain all the contexts. We want to set it as a new resource, variable, data type, Apex defined, external API, external service, and set in-body contexts. And allow multiple values. This is crucial. Body. Okay, I made a mistake here, and I put it into the assignment. We can just create it from the side, but that's good. We have a body context. The next thing, we need to set a new resource, and we'll call it just body contact. Apex defined, and we'll just use external service in body contact. And we will not check this allow multiple values since we're going to use it as a single object. The next thing we need to do is add objects to that collection. In order to do so, we're going to use a loop. We'll use the loop and we'll name it loop, and we will loop through the contexts. For each loop, we're going to do an assignment. Set contact. And we'll assign the values to our body contact. And we'll do body contact first name, body contact last name. Email, and then loop first name, last name. Next thing is we need to add that freshly created contact to our contact collection. So do another assignment, and we'll just name it add contact. We'll take the body of the contacts. So your body contacts, and we'll just do add and use the body contact. Now we have a full list of things. Now I created the set body info over here. I'm going to change it over here, and I'm going to put it on the last part so we can also add our contact. So I will change it to free form, take our assignment, disconnect it here, connect this part over here, and then right after the loop, I will just connect it over here. Change it back to auto layout, and we have the last part. Now we can add another thing here, and we can do body contacts equals body contacts. Now our full body has been set with some values. Okay, it's complaining. Not sure why. Okay, seems fine. The next part is the final, which we're going to use the HTTP callout to make that callout with our stuff. For the callout, we'll choose type, look up for the external service that we just created. And we can just name it API. Set a token, we can just do something, doesn't really matter. And then for the request, we're going to set our body. Now we can save it and we can debug it. Let's do a debug, and we'll pass in the account ID. Just take the account ID over here, paste it in the record ID, and let's do a run. Seems like it was sent. Let's see over here. Now we can see we received everything from the account. The next part, which is not specific for this flow, but for any flow, we can activate this flow and automatically set it as a button. We just need to go to the account object, set up a button, and choose the flow. Let me show you how to do this. Just go to edit object, buttons, no action, flow, imaginary API, call it API, save, go back to the account page, make an edit to the page, make sure the action button is on the top, look for the API, save. Now let's see if we're going to receive more stuff. So nothing is here. Let's go back to our page. Let's go back. And let's click this button. And we have it over here. If you like the video and find it helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe for more interesting videos on this topic. Thank you.